What are the realistic options now for Theresa May?
I think Theresa May's main option is just to keep going with this plan and probably to bring in somebody else, maybe Michael Gove, currently who does the environment and agriculture and things like that, but was another Brexiteer to try and replace David Davis. She's stuck in one of those problems where she thought she had just about got away with it. She gathered the whole cabinet in Chequers. She forced them all to sign off, but they had otherwise had a very sort of, they thought they had a deal, and then suddenly one of them's gone. And David Davis, before the meeting in Chequers, was always someone who people were a little bit worried about because he was particularly annoyed with the sort of way that Downing Street was interfering with what he saw as his job.
And in terms of Theresa May's approach now with the EU, does this mean the EU will essentially, well, almost certainly will not be offering any concessions to the UK?
I think there's a big split in the EU, and it goes in this way. On the one hand, there is one group of countries and leaders who are beginning to say, look, honestly, surely we can come up with some kind of slightly softer deal. They're beginning to run through all the economic ramifications for the rest of Europe for Britain going, because the economic, as you've just been discussing, the economic ramifications for Britain going are not great, but they're also not that brilliant for the EU. There's a lot of trade done with Britain. That's one thing. There's a little bit of a move towards compromise there. On the other hand, the thing which is very bad for Britain is what's happening in Italy, because suddenly the idea that Italy could also be in a great deal of difficulty, that means that any concessions that they give to the British, they might have to offer to other people as well. So the Europeans at the moment are very split. And the other absolutely crucial thing about the Europeans is at the moment none of them are really thinking about Brexit much, because they have other things, other priorities on their table. They think of Italy as an existential challenge to the European Union, because inside the Eurozone, they're much less worried about Britain. But now it's beginning to bubble back to the surface.